Okay, this video is on the circumference of a circle. We have another website that you can go to. You can watch a good video about this, but I'm going to explain it a little bit with the notes that I'm putting in the Google Classroom. So anyways, if you take a string and you put it around a circle, say you've got a perfectly round circular plate like this. You take a piece of string, you're going to need a friend if you want to try this at home. You take a piece of string and you put it around so it covers exactly the outside of the circle. Then you cut it there. Well, you've got this long piece of string that you've put around the circle. That's the circumference, the distance around the outside, the perimeter around the outside of this circular plate. Now, what you do is you take that string and you pull it straight across the center of the plate. And that's called one diameter. Now, if you, what you do is you just keep doing it and keep cutting the string. And look what you get. You end up with 3 strings, 3 diameters. The circumference is equal to 3 diameters plus a little bit. And that little bit, no matter how many times you do it with different circles, that little bit is really close to this fraction, 14/100ths, 0.14. Now, 3.14, 3 in that little bit, 3 diameters in that little bit's got a special name. We call it pi. And because it doesn't matter whether the circle's little or big, every time you do this, you come up with the same number. It's the same. We call that number pi a constant. It's a real special number. Now, we can build a formula with this. If you know the distance across a circle, all you have to do is multiply it by this 3.14. It actually equals something a little bit like 3.1419. You can keep on going. It gets more and more accurate, but it's very close to 3.14. If you take the diameter and you multiply it by 3.14, you get the distance around a circle. So if you know the distance across the center, you can just multiply it by pi. The other thing is, if you knew just the radius, then you go 2 times the radius, 2 times the radius, and that's the same as the diameter. So 2 pi r, and the diameter times pi, that's the same formula, really. It's just a different way of writing it. Well, you're going to get some questions. And they're pretty darn easy, really. If you've got your calculator ready to go, I think it might be nice to use the power of your calculator. Use all those decimals, not 3.14, but the pi in your calculator. So all you would do is take 10, multiply it by pi in your calculator, and you'll get the distance around this circle. I'm not going to do it, but you'll know that it won't be in squares. It'll just be centimeters. This one would be just the diameter times pi, nothing to it. Here you got to be a little bit careful because you're going to have to use the formula 2 pi r. So you're going to have to go 2 times pi times the radius, or double the radius, get the diameter, and multiply by pi. Now the last question, that's the memo. The last question says, now it turns out the Earth isn't a perfect circle, but it's pretty circular. Now, if the distance all the way around the center of the Earth was 40,075 kilometers, it actually is pretty close to this. If it's 40,075 kilometers, the question is, what's the distance to the center of the Earth? And you're just going to have to think about, what number is that? Well, there's the distance all the way around, the circumference. There's the distance almost straight across the center of the Earth. I guess that's going right to the center of the Earth. How far would it be to the center of the Earth? So that's one for you to think about. Okay, and that's it. And I hope this helps. Yes. Okay.